All right, let's explore something really special today. We're diving into a tradition where family history isn't just about names and dates on a piece of paper. Nope, it's a living, breathing record of a soul. And in this culture, the simple act of remembering, well, it's actually the ultimate act of love.
So our journey starts right here, with this one little fragment from a sacred family record. The name is Peppiqhilala Parifvava Tarakavez, and this single entry, this is our key. It's going to unlock a really profound cultural tradition, and it all revolves around this unique thing they call the life book.
So the big question is, what is a life book exactly? Let's break it down.
Now you gotta understand, these are not your average photo albums or some dusty old family tree chart. A life book is, well, it's seen as a living thing. It's a treasured testament to a soul's entire journey. Think of it like a spiritual and emotional archive, something that's cared for and passed down through generations.
And get this, the depth of what they record is just wow. It's so much more than just biographical data. We're talking about a person's birth chant, their spiritual path, their favorite sayings. They even add pages after someone has passed away to capture their soul legacy. And see that one, sibling biographies? We're going to circle back to that in a minute because it's really cool. But for now, just think of the whole thing as a complete spiritual fingerprint.
Okay, so with this level of detail, you have to wonder, who's in charge of keeping this incredibly important record? And the answer is, it's not just one person's job, it's a team effort.
So every family actually appoints 3 people to these sacred roles, and they're called the Qhetanarii. First, you've got the primary scribe. Think of them as the master archivist, the one who verifies everything. Then you have the listener scribe, and this is my favorite. They're the storyteller, the one who gathers all the oral histories and writes from a place of pure emotion. And finally, there's the proof scribe, who is all about accuracy, dates, and making sure the timeline is perfect. It's this beautiful balance, between hard facts, deep feelings, and lasting legacy.
And here is a perfect example of that listener scribe role in action. This is an actual entry from Peppiqhilala's life book, written by her older cousin, Narrivendrando. Remember those sibling biographies we mentioned? This is one. Just see how it captures not just information, but the absolute essence of his cousin. Our star, our fire, our reason. That's pure emotional truth, preserved forever and in.
All right, to really get what's going on here, we have to decode some of the language from Peppiqhilala's entry, because it points to a totally different way of looking at the world.
Okay, see this? Her entry says her thread is a wind flame dual. Now, that isn't just some poetic nickname. It's actually pointing to a really unique philosophy about how opposing forces work together, both inside a person and in the universe itself. And this is the crucial point right here. See, in many traditions, we think of duality as a conflict, right? Good versus evil, light versus dark, it's a battle. But in Arreqqana, they practice something called resonant dualism. Here, forces like fire and water aren't enemies fighting it out. No, they're partners. They're in a sacred dance. The goal isn't for one side to win. The goal is for both to find balance and create something new, something harmonious together.
So now that we know what the life books are, let's zoom out a bit and look at the why. Like, what kind of education creates a culture that values memory this deeply?
This quote says it all. Not all history is seen. Most of it is remembered. This was apparently taken right from a student's notebook, and it perfectly captures the philosophy behind a subject they call spirit history.
And spirit history is not about memorizing the dates of battles and the names of kings. It's about studying the echoes inside of us. The whole idea is that every single soul carries these encoded memories from their ancestors. And to truly understand who you are today, you have to understand those ancestral resonances.
What's really fascinating is that they even break down memory into 2 types. You've got voiced memory, which is exactly what it sounds like. Memories that have to be spoken aloud in rituals and chants to keep them alive. But then there's silent memory, which is seen as just as powerful. This is the history stored in your body, in your breath, the way you stand, the look in your eyes. And that kind of memory is honored in silence.
So, let's bring it all together. What's the big takeaway from this incredible tradition of the life books? What is their ultimate purpose?
Well, one thing is for sure, these books are not just sitting on a shelf collecting dust. They are active, living tools for the family. They're read aloud at ceremonies, they're constantly being updated, and they're used as an actual guide for spiritual practice. The whole point is to keep the truth of a soul's journey, its unique resonance, safe and sound.
And really, it all boils down to this one ancient teaching. To speak is to recall. To listen is to carry. To remember is to love. That just says it all, doesn't it? The work of those 3 scribes, all that speaking and listening and remembering, it's not just bookkeeping. At its heart, it is an act of love.
And all of this leaves us with a really deep question, one that students in Arreqqana actually debate themselves. Does forgetting dishonor the spirit, or does it make room for something new, for rebirth? It kind of makes you think about our own relationship with memory, doesn't it? In a world that's moving a million miles an hour, what do you choose to carry forward, and what do you let go of? It's definitely something to think about.